a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base. And what?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
They're gonna make draft picks this week. They're also gonna play NBA playoff games, NHL playoff games. Those all continue. Quite a week around here, man. Quite a week. Good week to be back. Feels like I've been gone for a month. You guys are like, no, why don't you stay away?
No, it felt like a long time.
It felt like a long time. It was, I guess I haven't been here since a week ago Thursday, right? Because I was Cruces on Friday and then bowl meetings last week. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, A. Marie on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. What's up, y'all?
Oh, what it do?
How you living?
Living good. How you doing?
You know,
Welcome back.
thank you. Thank you. Traveling's glamorous. I did want to be here Friday. I did, and I apologize for that. Instead, you guys had Kurt Roth on. I woke up on a floor of a airport in Nashville, Tennessee. So it was
As all good stories start.
I woke up on a floor in Nashville. All right, we got a lot to do today coming out of a big weekend. Playoff stories, and I know you guys have been in this. The playoff stories almost really haven't been about the playoffs, right? It's been about officials and ejections and all kinds of other crap. And we're going to get into some of that because there still is some of that. But I thought the ball yesterday was relatively compelling. And we've got a few storylines going on, and I want to start in Golden State. And we'll get into the draft because we're days away. But I think the NBA stuff kind of takes front and center on Monday coming out of the weekend, and watching some of the stuff that went down in these series. Let me just start here. What's been the major talk? Has it been ejections? Has it been officiating? Is that where you guys have been?
It's been the games itself, but of course, coming from the Draymond Green situation, that suspension, the antics of a couple of the Philadelphia 76ers in that series, it was right there with the games, especially when the NBA makes that decision. And then coming off of what we saw happen with Dylan Brooks over the weekend, and then he's playing, yeah, that's going to be one of the headlines.
So did you think Dylan Brooks should have been suspended?
With what they did with Draymond Green, saying, hey, this dude has a history. This is far more than 3 strikes for Draymond. We're suspending him. And you look at Dylan Brooks this season, he led the league with technical fouls. Yeah. He had 2 flagrant fouls on the season. No one had more than 3 in the NBA.
Is that right? I thought way more than
that. 2 flagrant 2s, excuse me.
Okay.
Flagrant 2s to the immediate ejection. Feels like that would be the one that would be able to back up and say, when we're talking about track records and history, Dylan Brooks falls into that.
See, but I thought what he did, and of all of them, and even the Hardens, and I don't think Harden should have been ejected. I thought Dylan Brooks was making a basketball move. It looked like he was swiping for the ball. Now, I understand where he landed, and I understand that's part of the equation here. But I thought he was making a basketball move, and LeBron changed directions, and LeBron certainly sold it. Now, look, it hurts to get hit there. Anybody who's got, that genetic set has been hit there and understands what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it's
uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable, but it's like it's that startling moment, right? I mean, when you get hit there, it's like a different, than getting hit in the face, right? And LeBron sold it, but I thought he was making a basketball move. Look, I'm not a Dylan Brooks fan by any means. I just didn't think he should be suspended for that. And if you take it in a vacuum. Now, I know you don't take these things in a vacuum, and they made that very clear. You don't take it in a vacuum. I don't think it's going to matter, by the way. But I don't even know that I thought he should have been ejected. But
I think anytime below the belt,
yeah,
because there was intent there. There was 100% intent there.
I
do not think that man.
You don't think that was a basketball? You don't think he was swiping for the basketball? You think he meant to hit him in the junk?
Yep.
Really?
He's poking the bear.
I mean, that's 110%. Poking, all right. I see. I'm not sure. I'm with you on that one. But okay, I'll go ahead. Let's go into that premise.
And so that, like, these dudes are so good at what they do. They're smart enough. Things happen in basketball, but to try to play all these off, like, nope, I know where to go. I'm Draymond Green. What was I supposed to do? I'm Dylan Brooks. I just going for the basketball. No.
Draymond stomped on a dude. Draymond was antagonized. Sabonis grabbed his leg.
The ball was nowhere near.
I got to find that again because I looked at it a lot of times. I thought he swiped the ball. LeBron
not at
LeBron
all.
Changed directions.
LeBron was dribbling with his left hand over here.
Yeah.
And then goes to dribble it behind his back, but that's like Brooks is in the motion of swiping at him even before the ball is changing direction.
No. All right, so that's what you guys were talking about a lot last week. Well, look, I'm down. He didn't get suspended, right? And so he's going to play tonight. I don't think it's going to matter.
I think anything below the belt with any type of intention, I'm okay with leaning towards flagrant 2.
All right.
Because that's the stuff. It's like, come on, that's you're trying to be a tough guy now, like, and that's what you want to do.
Well, and by the way, that dude, okay. I mean that dude especially flagrant 2, fine. He got a flagrant 2. Do you think he should have been
And
suspended?
then he's blaming it on everyone else.
It's always everybody else's fault.
Like the media and the
Oh, that's
fans are
right.
making
It's
him
always
villain.
the
No,
media.
you're embracing that role,
He
man.
loves
That's what
it.
you want to be.
It's who you've made yourself.
I don't
into.
run from it.
You should. Oh, I just saw it again. He should thank the media. He should flat out thank the media. I still think he got caught off balance and was reaching for the ball. I do. I just watched it three more times. I do. I just watched it 3 more times. I think he was
Let's
reaching for
keep
the
watching
ball.
LeBron get hit in the groin
Well,
over this one.
I'm going to disagree with you on this one. But I don't know that I think he should have been suspended. All right, Steph yesterday. So all I hear in this series is the advantage that the Warriors have over the Sacramento Kings. Well, they've been there. They've got 4 rings. They've got the experience, and the Kings are young. And yeah, the Kings might be fresher, but then Steph goes Chris Webber on this thing. Steph calls timeout because there was no urgency to get the ball up the floor, and time in the backcourt was running out, and he calls up by 5 in the last 40 seconds, 30 seconds,
49 seconds.
49 seconds, up by 5. He gives them a free throw on the ball. They hit the free throw, hit a 3, and it's a 1-point game. They got really, 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 really lucky. Now, I'll give them this. Draymond did a nice job, as did Steph. And we give Steph a little credit defensively on the last play on De'Aaron Fox. Then they double-teamed him, and they get the ball. They force it over to Harrison Barnes, and he missed a wide-open 3, which would have really – it might have put that series to bed. And instead it didn't, and they go back to Sacramento 2-2. But they are insanely fortunate to get out of there with all the experience and the championship pedigree, which, by the way, I still buy into. But that was borderline almost, and it's not because they won the game, so it won't go down as it, but a colossal, a historic, a monumental brain fart.
Yeah, because just like that free throw, 3-point shot, 5-point lead's a 1-point game, and they end up staring at a possession to win the game from the Sacramento Kings. And what we saw in Game 1 and Game 2 was Sacramento absolutely smashing that narrative and destroying it in this series.
In 2 games.
Was the whole, well, you have to be there, been there, done that type of deal. Now it's just like that, it's 2-2. But what the Sacramento Kings did in the first quarter, in Game 1 and Game 2, how they didn't roll over in these games at Golden State, make it fascinating because you could see a series where this goes 7 games, but each team just wins all the home games, and it's Sacramento walking out with victory.
I didn't realize we lost the challenge that we didn't have any timeouts. That was Curry. I didn't realize when we lost the challenge that we didn't have any timeouts left. Steve Kerr was like, what are we doing? And Kerr took the blame for it. I didn't let him know. Everybody's trying to play team ball. You guys, that could have been colossal. I mean, and I don't want to say the guy's not going to be remembered as one of the greatest players ever. And he would have, if they lose that game and lose that series like that, like one of the first things you'll remember long term is how they lost that series. Now, they may still lose the series. This series isn't over. They got to figure out a way to win down the highway in Sacramento, and they've not been good on the road all year long. They've got to figure something out. But going down 3-1, they probably get closed out in Game 5.
Yeah, because Curry doesn't have that moment.
Right?
Where
He's
you
got a
look
lot
at,
of moments.
Curry didn't show up. Yeah. Where was Steph Curry? He was MIA. How could he do that? How could he do this? Was the first time you're like, whoo.
Yeah.
Steph not knowing the moment.
Yeah, and then he went down and he missed the runner, which right on the offensive end. This was going to be one of those where all the Steph haters were going to come out and say, see, he ain't that. Where, by the way, he is that. But, man, that was a bad, bad moment. All right, lots to do. I got some catch up to do. We're going to go through a weekend that saw all kinds of stuff. We'll get into the New Mexico State stuff. Mario Mocha's got a 5-year extension as the athletic director down at New Mexico State. I want to get into Lobo Portal. I know you guys had Kurt Roth in on Friday. I want to get into some of that. I sat in on some really interesting NIL conversation in Nashville. I'll kind of give you a rundown of where I was, but in some of the stuff that I did. But we'll get into that. Transfer portal popping some very familiar names, found places yesterday. Let you know where that is. The Rays are still 19-3. So we got, I just, there's so much to dissect as we go through this whole thing. When we come back, I want to go a little bit more. There's a star in the NBA who is now being investigated by the league for intentionally initiating contact with an official after a playoff game. That series is still going. Who it is and what they may do. That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Wrestling. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling, and we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sound of it.
There's a few things. Don't bet on your game, and you do not initiate contact with the official, right? Is there any more cardinal rules, like kind of straight up that everybody knows about?
Should be universal basics.
I mean, those are right there at the top, right? The NBA is investigating Hawks guard, this Atlanta Hawks guard, DeJounte Murray, towards the officials at the end of last night's game. Yesterday's game. They lost to the Celtics in Game 4. They're down 3-1. He had a nice game, 23, 9 and 6, 40 minutes. He played well. He appears to make contact with a referee as he's walking off the floor. Then he turned back, he pointed, he yelled at someone before he exited the court. The Hawks did not make him available for interviews after the game. And so what typically happens in these situations is the NBA make a decision on discipline before the next game of the series, and the Hawks will play in Boston tomorrow night and 1 game away from elimination. So watch out for that. If it happened, he's done. I mean, this is
He's done.
This is a cut and dry one, right? I mean,
if you watch the video, there's no reason for him to bump the official after the game. He's frustrated. He's upset. Atlanta, don't be mad at the officials, man. You guys can't play defense. You can't stop Boston. You finally play a really good game Friday night, come back. You're not able to respond, and he goes and chests the official. Like, there's just things he can't do. There's no reason for it.
Yeah, I think that's probably right, and I think this one's going to be cut and dry. I think they're done. When they go back up to Boston, I think that thing ends. Knicks were winners last night, 102-93 yesterday afternoon. They're up on the Cavaliers and in control of that series. And the Timberwolves last night stayed alive, staved off elimination. The Knicks are up 3-1, by the way. I say in control. They're up 3-1. And then Denver was trying to close out Minnesota in a sweep last night. They went overtime, and it was 114-108. The Timberwolves were winners in overtime. Anthony Edwards hit a big shot in overtime and hit a lot of big shots. He had 34 points in the victory. 43-11 for Nikola Jokic. You've got to feel good. This is the most quiet 1 seed ever. And maybe as you're sitting there watching, so it's, perspective's everything, right? And I was out of town kind of watching from afar, and what are they? It was hard to find Nuggets highlights. Like, you watch Nationals, nobody's talking about the number 1 seed in the West. It's all about the Lakers. It's all about the Warriors. It's all about everything, the Suns and the Clippers. This is the most quiet 1 seed I've ever seen.
Yeah, last night they were thoroughly outplayed in that second half. They went on a 12-0 run in the final 2 minutes to force overtime, before Minnesota was able to take control of that game in OT. The biggest thing for the Timberwolves is this season has shown that Anthony Edwards is legit, and he is the best player on that team because Karl Anthony Towns has been MIA. The dude has shrunk in this series. So if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves, you have a legit star in Anthony Edwards. Dude's averaging 32 points per game. The Nuggets could not stop this guy the last 3 games. Now, they won 2 of them, but the last 3 games for Anthony Edwards, 41, 36, 34. And so at least you have the foundation for your franchise moving forward. And it should be working out a lot better. Karl Anthony Towns would like to join the series.
Well, and then if they get anything, Rudy Gobert 15 rebounds last night, and they traded their whole franchise for him. If you look at that and say, man, they've got Conley, Towns, Gobert, and Edwards, they should be pretty good, right?
They should be causing a lot more problems with that size, getting teams in foul trouble.
Right.
Just going inside, Edwards exploding on the perimeter. That's how they were able to keep the game alive last night.
Yeah. All right. So if you want to get on playoffs, we're here for you. That's all there. I think when we get into the next series, and the next series is going to be most likely Nuggets and Suns, right? Then you're going to start hearing about it because then it's Kevin Durant. That's then people care. It's nationally, it's kind of weird when it gets to the Nuggets. And then can I go back to the Dylan Brooks thing one more time with the Lakers before we get off the NBA for now? And they play again tomorrow night. That'll be. I'm trying to find a schedule on this thing. Today's 24, so you get them tonight. Memphis, the Lakers. And I don't know if you're getting John Morant back. So I tell you this a lot, and I've said this over the years about college basketball. If you're gonna bask in the glory when you hit a game-winning shot, you kind of got to answer the bell and talk to the cameras, to the microphones when things aren't going well, right? I mean, it's you can't play one side of it. And you mentioned Dylan Brooks. He's the Memphis Grizzlies star who's been in the face of LeBron James. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's 100% right. 100% right. And is claiming that the villain label is forced by the media. Quote, this is him. The media making me a villain. The fans making me a villain. And then that just creates a whole different persona of me. So now you think I intend to hit LeBron James in the nuts. I'm playing basketball. I'm a basketball player. So if I intended, and that's whatever is in the flagrant 2 category, if you think I did that, that means you think I'm that type of person, end quote. First of all, you've created that persona. And yeah, a lot of people do think you're that type of person. But JJ, he didn't talk after that game. And if you're going to go seek it out, and talk when you win and be that guy and create your image, create your brand, don't you feel you're obligated to talk after a loss too?
Yeah, because this is one, some people might chuckle all morning long, but when you watch it over and over and over again, to me, there's no way that was a basketball play for Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, see, I think he's reaching. He's
in the moment. You're down 53-37.
No.
The basketball is it's not a crossover in front of LeBron James.
It went behind his back.
He's dribbling with his left hand, and you go to the center of his body.
Yeah.
And now you want to run from it and act like it's everyone else's fault.
If
you don't want to cut, I get that you're not going to come out and straight up admit, oh, yeah, I went out there and punched him in the junk. But to deflect everything after you built that persona, you built that persona, Dylan Brooks. You're rocking like the wrestler theme post game, saying LeBron ain't nothing to me. When he gives me 40, then I'll pay attention. And then you do something ridiculous like that, and be like, "It ain't me. What are y'all talking about?" Okay.
By the way, what's the trainer supposed to do in that situation? I always wonder about that. Like you hurt your ankle, the trainer comes out and puts ice on your ankle or sprays the can of special spray stuff on your. What's the trainer supposed to do when you come out and just get junked like that? See, he reached the ball. I see the ball was in his left hand. He reached his left hand across, and as LeBron's going behind him, I think he reached for the ball and caught him in the stuff. But okay. I mean, I just don't want to believe a dude blatantly hit another man in the junk.
How could you not believe that?
I just don't want to believe
a lot in basketball.
The dudes blatantly try to hit dudes in the junk,
and then they just say they're creating space.
Jacked up, man.
Exactly. That's the stuff. Like, all right, you got a flagrant 2. Have fun in the locker room the rest of the game.
But don't you think he's got to talk after it? Like if he talks so much and he's there for every microphone when things are going well, how do you just disappear when it's not?
The game that he played.
Yeah, I know.
He took more shots than anyone else in the first half from Memphis, and he hit 3 of them. He was 3 for 13.
Yeah.
And if I'm, because Dylan Brooks, the attitude he has. There's certain guys. It's Draymond Green. It's as long as they're not punching dudes in the groin, getting kicked out of the game, you're like, all right, he's just that guy for us. But this is one of those moments where you just got, if you're Taylor Jenkins, Memphis Grizzlies head coach, you want to just rip your hair out.
Yeah.
Because you're like, that's a line that you got to learn to toe. But these guys are going to cross those lines. If you're living in that world, we've seen it time and time again with Draymond Green. And Dillon Brooks is nowhere near the player Draymond Green is for the Golden State Warriors. And these things are going to happen. And what, to your point, the team's got to eat it. Dillon Brooks has to eat it. But are you if you're trying to blame everyone else after the fact?
All right, when we come back, the draft is 3 days away. Aaron Rodgers is still a Packer. Can that change before the draft? The latest on Aaron Rodgers to the Jets and what the latest talks have. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Rocky Mountain Roofing uses a drone with a special camera to detect moisture.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Kind of give up the facade. Remember, it wasn't even the facade. It was real, but now I do watch it more. I remember. Whoa, that didn't sound good. Because it wasn't good. Should I stop touching that? I used to not watch the draft. I just
what?
Well, it's not my thing, man. I don't get.
I understand.
I don't get going like everybody else does.
Not even the first day.
I kind of watch it now the first day. Yeah, this broke.
I feel like most people watch it the first round at least.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, with all due respect, I mean, not everybody knows it like you and me or JJ do. I mean, it's a bunch of people that, whatever, to teams that are like whatever, and but I'm in it.
Fans love it because you know what it gives them, Jeff?
Hope.
Yes.
Or a reason to get pissed off.
Like, we're gonna be great again.
Yeah. All right.
This guy's gonna be a franchise changer.
A lot of talk about the Aaron Rodgers thing and what's going to happen. Will that deal get done before the draft? And it's been over a month since Aaron Rodgers announced that he plans to play for the Jets, even though he is still under contract to play for the Packers, and then they've been working something out. And evidently it's been weeks since the Packers and Jets have had talks with any substance to it about getting this done. NFL media is saying that the two sides have resumed negotiations. That's Ian Rappaport. And they hope to strike a deal this week. I guess they could swap. What are they, about 3 or 4 picks different in first round? If the Packers feel they need to move up, I mean, could they swap first round picks and some other compensation? Aren't they like 13, 16, something like that in that area? I mean, everybody knows what's going to go on. He wants to go there. They're done with him. Joe Douglas, the Jets general manager, said he's going to be here. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst suggested that Rodgers' lack of offseason communication accelerated the move. I mean, they're done, right? Everything's done. Now, what will it be? What will it be? Packers are, it's 13-15, right? So would that somewhat let everybody save face? The Packers have said, I want a first-round pick. The Jets said, yeah, no. If there's a bunch of compensation, they swap 13 and 15. Packers move up 2 spots. That allow everybody to kind of save face.
No.
All right.
So the soft deadline reports are 42 and 43 that the Jets have back-to-back in the second round. To me, it's pretty simple. It's you do 1 or 2 of those second rounders and a conditional first next year. And that is if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, if you're the Jets, it reverts to a mid-round pick. And if Aaron Rodgers is back on the field, here's your first-round pick, Green Bay.
And that should be, if you're the Jets, you think in the 20s because you think you're going to make the playoffs, right? I don't have a problem with that. And it sounds like Joe Douglas is the one that's really.
So if I'm Green Bay, I'm like, all right, give me those 2 second-round picks. And if Aaron Rodgers is on the football field next year for you, we'll take your first. Let's go.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that's all that far off. But I'm not sure that they're that close to that either. You think they get it done by draft day?
Feels like Friday night when you're going in the second round, those picks on the table.
So you think Friday night? So once the draft is started, okay. And that'll let the Jets make their first pick and have their whatever they want for this year. It's a big year for the Jets. It's a big year because if they do get Aaron Rodgers, you're looking at no more than 2, right?
And that's why Green Bay hasn't pulled the trigger yet, because they're holding off and they're trying to put pressure on the Jets to cave and give them that first-round pick this year.
100%. No, 100%. What do you make of guys like Hendon Hooker and guys in the draft? Like I've been asked a bunch of times, and I think we got it in the in my email. Who's the Brock Purdy? Who's the late guy that nobody's talking about?
Sure isn't Hendon Hooker.
Okay, because he's not going to go late.
Yeah.
He'll go late in regards to quarterbacks. I mean, what's he going to go, 5th, 6th?
Well, he could go in the first round,
but he'll be the 5th guy, right?
Quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, he might be the 5th quarterback. I like him. Like before he got hurt, and this is my deal with him. He's the quarterback from Tennessee. I watched him all year, and I'm like, wow, this dude's phenomenal. I've seen guys come back from knee injuries before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Why has he fallen so far?
It just feels because of that injury. But if you look at what he was doing before he got hurt, he was having a better year than Anthony Richardson.
Don't you think? Like they were a national title contender until he got hurt. Tennessee was. And it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes. Are we, and I'm not going to lie, I've been kind of outside of this. Are we at the point where it's Bryce Young to the Panthers for sure?
That's what it feels like it's settling in on.
Yeah.
All right. And so I have heard a lot this weekend that the Texans don't love C.J. Stroud. They have to go quarterback, right? They have to go
welcome
quarterback,
to our
don't
Houston Texans conversation.
Yeah, we had a big discussion on this.
This is one that, to me, it would be a no-brainer. But I think the Houston Texans are going with the bleep them quarterback strategy. They got new head coach who's on a 6-year deal.
DeMeco Ryans a defensive guy.
And if you're not sold on C.J. Stroud, I think what we could actually see happen with the Houston Texans is they take Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, whoever they feel is the best defensive player there, at 2. They could come back, and if a Will Levis or Anthony Richardson
Where's their next
falls
they got
12,
they go at 12.
they could grab a quarterback. But I think I could actually see them going defensive player, grab an offensive lineman, and just absolutely punting on quarterback this season, because this
What
is
if
the
Hendon
team.
Hooker's there sitting there at the top of the second round?
Yeah, that changes things. I'd grab him for sure, because if you're Houston, you're just acknowledging, like, we're not going to be good for a while.
Well, here's
so
my thought on the Hooker
Are we
thing.
getting anything out of CJ?
All those teams who are looking at a quarterback, everything gets pushed back, right? So meaning all those teams that are in line for quarterback, if Texans don't take one, everybody moves up a slot. And so, like, I'm just looking at a mock draft right now. I see Hendon Hooker going, this is CBS's, going to the Rams at 25. All right, well, if the Rams can get the next guy up on the board, and Will Levis slipping all the way to 31. Wow. Yeah, there may not be a guy at the top of the second.
And if you're drafting Hendon Hooker,
yeah,
you
It's not
want to
for now.
get him in the first round.
So
because of you get the extra year on the back end, because you already know,
yeah,
this year's going to be about rehabbing, just getting him on the field probably late in the season. So you want that 5th year option.
All right, so I don't know that I totally hate your strategy, but then who the hell's their quarterback? Davis Mills?
Yeah. Davis Mills, and then you realize this could be a trusted process situation, is be back towards the top of the draft next year, looking at that quarterback class. But if you feel that you're building a better roster, and then who knows? It's in division, but I don't think it would be crazy.
Ryan Tannehill?
Because if you're just saying right now, they're giving us time to build a franchise.
Well, let me tell you this.
Put a bunch in that roster, get by for a year or two, and then go to try to find your franchise.
So if they could do everything you just said, get a stud pass rusher, get a anchor on their offensive line, and have to live with Ryan Tannehill for 2 years, I don't think I hate that. Now, is Ryan Tannehill a free agent?
No. But it really does, like, Tennessee's ready to move on from the 35-year-old quarterback.
Okay. And
they're at 11, and so they're in that mix of one of these guys drops. Do they like Will Levis?
Will Levis is the one who's dropping like a rock right now, right?
It all depends on what you want to believe, and you can't believe anything. One mock draft you look at has Will Levis, the last pick, and then you can read a story saying that the Indianapolis Colts are in love with Will Levis and hope someone takes C.J. Stroud so they don't have to make that decision.
And the love affair or not love affair with C.J. Stroud is real. It's some people just think he's the greatest quarterback with every tool, and I don't know what he doesn't have. By the way, when I look at C.J. Stroud, I'm like, what doesn't he have? Like, he didn't win a national championship. What doesn't he do? I mean, honestly, tell me, what do I miss on C.J. Stroud? What doesn't he do?
Enough, Jeff. He's not a run.
Oh, he doesn't run enough, but he runs enough. Like he runs, but not enough. Dude, that guy's plenty mobile. I don't know what you don't see there. All right, so if you're telling me I could cut a deal, what would it take to get Ryan Tannehill? If the Titans draft a quarterback, and they did last year too, right? The kid from Liberty, Malik, what's his name?
Shot on Malik Willis. Yep. Apparently, they already feel like they know the answer to that question.
All right, so they lost on that one. Are they willing to take another gamble? If you're the Texans, you don't think you can squeeze another 2 years out of Ryan Tannehill? Decent play? There's a lot worse quarterbacks in that league than Ryan Tannehill.
And this is also the Ryan Tannehill one too. That's one that you can go through your draft. The money on his contract, you're going to have to renegotiate it.
Right.
But it's one if you're Tennessee, you're not getting number 12 for Ryan Tannehill. You understand the compensation is going to be a lot less for Tannehill. So if they make their move at quarterback, it's one of those easier deals. A couple mid-round picks after
just don't
the
go
draft
Carson
next year.
Wentz.
Yeah.
Just don't do Carson Wentz. Right? I mean, that's all I'm telling you. All right, 505-246-0610. That's interesting to me. So where were you guys basing that conversation on the defense and then linemen and not going quarterback? Is that
the stories that are coming out in the odds?
Pretty common theory. All right.
The fact that early last week, Will Anderson was the betting favorite to go number 2.
I don't hate it. Which way you think they go? If you're a betting man right now.
I don't think
they're
that
taking
they
a
take
quarterback
at number 2.
You don't think they will? I think they're going to. You think they just love Bryce Young so much more than C.J. Stroud that they don't think C.J. Stroud's worth? Look, that's I respect that. How many times have I sat here and said, we overinflate quarterback because it's quarterback, right? And if you look at the hit rate, it's under 50% in the first round, especially when you stretch. If you don't believe in a guy, then I'm fine. Do it. Go with that. If you don't believe he's your guy, then you got to go do that. Then you've got to go do what you're saying. Go get a can't miss edge rusher, and then hit me with a lineman. Or somebody's going to give you a boatload for that number 2 pick or even the 11, right? As you go tick through Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, and all of a sudden you're getting closer to 11, and there's a quarterback desperate team. Who knows what you can get for 11? I don't hate it. I don't hate it. What was the consensus of sports animals?
I think people are just shocked that with the top 2 quarterbacks and looking at this draft, Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, it feels like that's a solid, all right, these are the 2 guys. And then kind of talk yourself into Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, Hendon Hooker, whatever you like, that it's a legitimate and not just, hey, let's throw some draft theories out there that I don't think Houston's taking a quarterback right now at number 2.
That's insane. All right, 505-246-0610. Draft is coming. What do you think? Come on in. I want to hear from you today at 505-246-0610. We got more draft stuff to get through. Cowboys made a move the other day. And actually, I think it's a wonderful move. I'll tell you why I think it was really the right move. We're going to get into that and what they may do as we get through this draft this week. I want to tell you about my jeweler. It's John Thomas Jewelers. John Thomas Jewelers is different than anywhere else. You got to want to get there. You got to go out of your way. It's not like you're going to stumble across them in the mall and just pick something out of a case. No, you got to go to the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal. And then John's going to walk you through whatever it is you're looking for. If you're looking for an engagement ring, they will help you create the most beautiful custom ring that is for you and for your partner. It's going to be all you. They do more custom jewelry in a week than most jewelers do in a year. If you can dream it, they can make it. And it's more affordable than you think. Why? Because they do it right here in Albuquerque. They got a custom design and repair shop right on site in their facility. I walked through it. They're amazing. John showed me a picture or a piece. Somebody sent a picture of a leaf. Wanted him to make jewelry out of that picture. They showed me what the final piece looked like. They're amazing. And now, with any purchase of just $5,999, they're giving away a 7-night all-inclusive trip to the Dominican Republic. It's perfect for couples looking to get engaged. You get the ring and the honeymoon. Perfect for couples looking to celebrate an anniversary, jewelry, and a trip, or anyone just looking to get away. This is not a contest. With any purchase of $5,999, the trip is yours. All the food, all the drinks, a tropical destination. They will be giving this gift with purchase while supplies last. Get on over, see John Thomas Jewelers. 3rd floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal, just east of the Coronado Mall. JohnThomasJewelers.com. If you can dream it, they will make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers
Today, but I thought the Cowboys signing CeeDee Lamb, picking up the fifth-year option for him was a big deal. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie. They want to sign him to a long-term extension. I don't know how much that means, but they made the option official last week, 2 weeks before they had to do it. Locked him into a salary of just under $18 million, basically $18 million, $17.99 million for next year, because he was selected to the Pro Bowl. His option salary became higher before. I don't know what you guys thought. I thought this was right. Get this out of the way, and then they give some time to negotiate. They did it early. There's good feelings there. That's their number one. That's their number one guy going forward, and they need him.
Yeah, that's the value right now in the NFL of second contracts, of number one wide receivers. They're worth the investment. You have to have a good one, at least a legit number one you can lean on to build your offense around. And CeeDee Lamb the last 2 years put up those numbers.
Yeah, I thought that was right. And then it's going to be interesting to see where they go in this draft. What do they need, right? What do you think their biggest pressing need is in this draft?
It's interesting with what they have in CeeDee Lamb, acquiring Brandon Cooks, and people still mocking a wide receiver to them in the first round. But that's a situation, if you're Dallas, top of my list, best available offensive lineman.
Yeah, and I think they need secondary help too.
Yeah, if there's best available offensive lineman, a secondary piece, because what the Cowboys have been known for, those dudes are aging out.
Yeah.
And those having really good offensive line.
Yep, and there's a lot of talk about running back. Will they take Bijan Robinson, the running back out of Texas, if he's still there? And that would be a Jerry move, wouldn't it? It'd be something. Everybody knows who the running backs and receivers and quarterbacks are. Nobody knows who the offensive linemen are. And while you might be doing the right thing for your franchise, what gets your fan base fired up? And that's an owner who certainly is into getting his fan base fired up and thinking, what do they care about? What do they want to do? How do they feel about it? And not only the best running back in the draft, but the best running back in the draft out of the University of Texas, staying in Dallas would be a big deal to them. So, do I got time for this? You kind of yes. All right, Ray. Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Ray.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. What's happening?
Yeah, I think Brooks should have got suspended because he did it once at the beginning of the year, and he got teed up for that. And then, if you guys remember, he did it blatant to Mitchell, and that's when Mitchell and him got in that fight. Mitchell threw him on the floor and stuff, but he hit him. Yep. He hit him low too. That's the third time hitting someone low.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I think he should have got suspended.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, Ray. Appreciate you.
All right,
thanks. That's fair. I mean, they certainly made it very clear when it came to Draymond. Yeah. They took past performances into account. And look, I don't know that there's a lot of worse things to be known as than a serial junker. Like honestly, you're a serial ball basher. I mean, what do we call something like that?
Yeah. And these are the ones, and even going back when we were discussing the things that stood out from Draymond Green to, I think Joel Embiid had one of the worst ones of the week last week, the scissor kick to the back of Claxton. Like, those are the things that really just grind my gears, because it's not just, you being physical, you want to be tough, you're going at it. Like, I'd rather, like Joel Embiid at that moment in time, I'd rather him stand up and pretend to be a hold me back, bro, than take a cheap shot at a guy that is stepping over you. And we know in basketball, when you step over someone,
ultimate disrespect.
Yeah, it's disrespect.
Ultimate.
I understand that, but that also doesn't just give you the right to be cheap in terms of physical contact right back.
There's also times where you got nowhere to go. A dude's on the ground, you got to step somewhere, right? And either I'm going to step on you or I'm going to step around you, which means over you.
I think Joel Embiid got off easy last week in these conversations for what he
100%.
did to Claxton, because I'd rather see Joel Embiid, get up, be chirping, just chest, yeah. Even do the whole pretend hold me back, bro, and then you know what? Go take a charge then. Like, go put your shoulder through the chest of Claxton, get called for a charge, and be like, all right, man, I'm here.
Square up.
Something like that instead of a cheap shot going low from behind when the guy's not looking. Like, none of that stuff is like, oh, that's good old physical stuff. No, that's just weak sauce.
All right, when we come back, the portal's moving. some names you're very familiar with. A former Lobo found a place, and you are going to see him twice a year. A former Lobo starter you'll see twice a year in this league. Some other familiar names finding homes in the portal yesterday. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us. Happy Monday on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
In the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Bach.
Kind of good to be back, I'm not going to lie. I mean, Nashville was good. Getting home sucked. It's good to be back. Glad my key still worked, the code worked.
I think this is about Tuesday and Wednesday of last week.
Yeah.
People started losing their mind.
About what?
They're like, where's Jeff? Why is he not on the radio? You're like, the dude has another job and it's okay.
Well,
he did not leave you high and dry.
Also, people are allowed to take days off and go on vacation.
I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. Now, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Next week, I'll be. I'll do the show from. I'm going to go to Mountain West, Pac-12, all those meetings next week. So I'll be. But I'll be remote on Tuesday and Wednesday from there. Looking forward to doing that. The travel back. I was just telling JJ Marie on Thursday because I was planning on being back here Friday. I got to the airport and they kept delaying, and I kept getting. I learned the chat feature on American Airlines on this one, and rebooked my connector. And finally, long story, but I got on a flight to DFW and I was going to overnight there, and they loaded the plane, Emery, and then once we were on the plane, the captain came on and said, "Yeah, I got bad news for you. They just canceled this flight." Like after we loaded it, and right by now it's 11 o'clock. The flight was supposed to leave at like 2:30, and I found a desk, and they're like, "Yeah, I can get you home on Saturday, or we can go Tampa to Phoenix to Albuquerque. You can get home Friday night, but you'll be standby in Tampa." I'm like, "No." And so I opened up an app on another airline and booked a flight, and it was in like 4 hours from then. So it was like, do I go to a hotel and sleep for 2.5 hours or sleep in the airport? And yeah, it was misery. It was that one wasn't, but travel's glamorous, you guys. Travel's glamorous.
Of course, private jets.
Yeah, that's right. All right, transfer portal and hoops is open. So a lot of talk, I'm going to guess, last week about Mustafa Amzil.
No.
All right, so you guys didn't talk about that. I guess that's not that big of a deal.
It came down at like 10-10 on Friday.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
The Dayton transfer?
Yes.
So we haven't talked about that.
No.
So Kurt was sitting here the whole time, and he
it
knew
was
about
so funny.
He didn't even give you that?
Well, he off air. He's like, wish we could talk about.
I wish we could talk about this one. I got this guy. He's my guy. He's coming in here next.
Yeah.
There were two stories that dropped.
No, it's just funny because we're
Right
like
after we went off the
literally.
air.
Why did
right
he
when we got
get it?
there.
Why didn't he get Mustafa for you?
I was like, really? And then the fact that New
Who's the other
Mexico
one
is going to have a neutral site game with Santa Clara next year.
Yeah.
Both those dropped between 10 and 11 on Friday. I was like,
all right.
Come on.
Then let's have the Mustafa Mzil conversation. The fact that the schools, first of all, that they beat to get him, shows you they're playing in a different realm right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was
why
Oklahoma and
Kurt Roth is man of the hour.
Well,
too.
So Kurt Roth, if you weren't with us on Friday, or with JJ and Marie, is heading up the collective, the NIL, how they're getting these guys paid. When you talked to him, and I know you did, about sustainability, how did he feel this thing's going to sustain itself? Because I know he likes that $20 per month model, right? And that's a big deal. And asking Lobo fan, and they figured it out. And if they can get X number of Lobo fans just to give $20 a month to the collective, and this isn't just for basketball, but it'd be for all sports, that they can sustain this thing at some level. Because what I do know right now is for the group of 5 schools, and I say group of 5 is a football term, but for the non-Power 6 in basketball, this collective is one of the best. And it's one of the best. I mean, one of the most loaded, right? One of the most
very competitive right now.
Funded. Yeah. So what do you say about sustainability in regards to how does this thing survive for years?
I think right now, you hope that people start just understanding that with name, image, and likeness, you're going to have to play this game. And part of playing a game as a fan is deciding what else do you want to invest. And it's not just strictly, hey, season tickets, here's my donation. Like, you're going to have to figure out, all right, do I want to just all this money to go directly to UNM in my Lobo Club donations, or do I want to join?
So he is
Iowa
kind of
Pride
playing
Sports
us against
Foundation?
them. It is kind of the Lobo Club versus the collective.
As a fan, you have to acknowledge.
I've been saying that since day one.
But one thing I do, Kurt, he said they have to rise together.
Oh, I think that's right, but how do they do that?
Yeah, exactly. And there's only so much disposable income you're going to have.
You have X number of dollars. Let's just say the number's 1,000. You can say 100. I don't care what you say. I got $1,000. I can donate. And if you're telling me now it's got to go to the collective, well, then and the global club's coming back and saying, hey, will you up your donation? And, well, no, I just gave it all to that dude.
And so I think that's going to be about a process of learning, of understanding that while these are two separate things, they are things that are working together to make sure that the product and at the forefront of this is men's basketball is one that's competitive and winning games.
Yeah. All right, transfer portal's moving. So Mustafa Mzil, you get Nelly Jr. Joseph and Jamar Baker in the portal. You still got a couple spots open, and I think Lobo roster. And I think if you start looking around the Twitter and reading some of the college basketball experts, people are really loving the roster they put together. When you put those three with House, Mashburn, and Donovan Dent, and then if Forsling can, and then the freshman you got in True Washington and Toppin, and Webb, who redshirted last year, and if Forsling can turn into something as a backup big, and then you still got 2 open spots, people are realizing, dang, New Mexico's roster is really good. Really,
it's going to come down to what can Richard Pitino do. Can he get these guys to buy into shorter stints in a regular season? Now I'm talking about Jalen House and Jamal Mashburn Jr.
No more 38 minutes again.
Because then that's the only way you utilize your depth. Because it's easy to sit there and go, wow, look at all these guys. And it's that email. Where's the playing time going to come from?
Well,
you got to create it.
So you know,
and if you have 3 guys in the backcourt that you really like and you want to talk up Donovan Dent, then you got to get him on the court 20 minutes a game.
Well, winning will do that. And I point you towards San Diego State and their nine-man rotation and got them to the championship game, right? You didn't hear a lot of people complaining about minutes and playing time there. And I mean, Brian Dutcher, their coach, would make a line change. You'd see 7 dudes come in, or 7 dudes. You'd see 4 dudes come in.
That's also something that they've established.
Yeah,
that's
winning.
That's the last, but not just winning, because this team was winning last year.
Yeah,
but the fact that these guys want to play, And if you ask Jalen House, Jamal Mashburn, like, yeah, I'll take those minutes. That's what I'm here for. But you're going to have to make the decision early in the season if you want a true backcourt rotation. That House, Mashburn, Dent, like, how do you get all those guys, in the 20s?
It's going to be interesting to watch that, and that's a challenge Richard's going to have. And look, you're going to have some injuries here and there. All right, one of the guys who left was Javonte Johnson, a 3-year starter at the University of New Mexico. You will see him a couple of times next year, assuming the schedule has the Lobos and Colorado State playing twice, because he is going home. He is a Colorado Springs guy, so 2 hours north, but he's going up to play Colorado State. He is joined there by his childhood buddy, Nick Clifford, who is going from University of Colorado to Colorado State. So Javonte, and Colorado State's been an interesting watch, by the way, on the Twitter during the transfer portal, man. They put a lot of stuff out there. But Javonte put it out yesterday. So Javonte Johnson's staying in the Mountain West. And I think he'll get a nice reception when he comes back next year, don't you think? When assuming they're in the pit next year. And starting at guard for Colorado State, number 13 from Colorado Springs, a senior, Javonte Johnson. I think he gets a nice hand, don't you?
I would hope so.
Dude, that's a good kid. Like, I really like him. I really liked him. And I understand he got recruited over, and he was, there were limits there. And I think this is going to work out best for everybody. But I hope he gets received well.
I think he will. Because that's, Javonte Johnson, one of those players that maybe in some people's eyes never lived up to the hype. Because, coming out of high school, he was a really good scorer, set a lot of records at his high school. And coming in, he settled into a good role player. And as you said, just kind of got lost in rotation. Like, Javonte Johnson on this roster next year, I think it would have been fine.
He'd have been like the 7th guy.
It would have been hard for Javonte going into his final season of eligibility, saying, yeah, he used to be a starter all this time, and now you got to accept a different role.
You get a COVID year, right? He gets 2 years up there? Yeah, he gets a COVID year.
Yeah. So 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, I think Javonte would have been a fantastic role player, but that's part of the game. Like you said, it's the acknowledgement of, hey, we need to feel like we need to get better on the wing, and your opportunity is going to take a step back. So what do you want to do?
Couple other portal names of note, and there was a lot of talk around here. And I heard when I got back from Vegas after the conference tournament, this was being said to me like it was a done deal that Sean Bairstow was going in the portal and coming here. Cam's brother, the 6'8" swing from Utah State. Well, he did go in the portal, but he's not coming to New Mexico. Him and his teammate Max Shulga both announced yesterday that they are going to VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, transferring from Utah State. And JJ, the thread there is Ryan Odom, their head coach at Utah State, got the job at VCU, and that's where those two young men went. So VCU just got, I've got two good players. Shulga's nice. I think Bairstow's really nice. But there was a time where I know you were hearing the same thing I was hearing. This was a done deal that Bairstow was coming here.
Yeah, just get your Cam Bairstow jersey out and rock it at the pit next season. It's the way it felt. But then you realize, VCU makes sense. Two really good players. And Ryan Odom, when he went from UMBC to Utah State, brought two good players with him there. And then he's going to VCU, bringing two good players with him. Not too shabby.
Where'd I see Ashworth land, too? Didn't he land?
Creighton.
Creighton? That's their best shooter. So the Montana State guy that went down there, what's his name? No, it's Sprinkle, because Danny Sprinkle, isn't that his name?
Yep.
What I find beautiful is do you know what the name of the sponsor of their court is? It's Crumble Cookie. Sprinkle's going to be the coach on Crumble Cookie.
Stop.
No, it's absolute truth. I just found that charming when I saw that. Sprinkle on Crumble Cookie. I mean, is that why they hired him? Like he's got the endorsement built in.
Marketing opportunity,
right? Because it's Crumble Cookie is the sponsor of their court. I'm pretty sure, and it's Danny Sprinkle is their coach. There's got to be a cookie of the month in December, doesn't there? Isn't that how they do it? Crumble Cookie. Have you had Crumble yet?
No.
Oh, Addie loves that mess.
I don't like cookies.
Really?
I'm a weirdo.
No, that's right. She's not. She doesn't like sweets.
There's some things.
Yeah, I know.
Cookies.
No, that.
I know. It's weird.
I think you're the only person I've ever met.
I know. I'm not a big sweets person.
That's cool. That's cool. There's more for me. Which probably isn't good.
this entire sleeve of cookies. Thank you.
Which really probably isn't good for me. All right. When we come back, get what happened locally over the weekend. United was on the road. What it means, their start's been a little bit rough. Isotopes had an interesting weekend. We'll wrap up all of that and another championship at the University of New Mexico when we come back. I went away and IPS watched my home. See, it's beautiful how that works. Now, they're there all the time. I tell you, I see them regularly pulling weeds last week or 2 weeks ago, and Officer Crespin just came by doing his check. My next door neighbors now have IPS watching them. It just gives you peace of mind. International Protective Service is affordable private security, and I've been trusting them for years to watch the house. And when I go away, if I get a package delivered, I just ordered some cleats for Addie. She needs new cleats, so if they get delivered while I'm there, IPS will pick them up off of the porch so somebody else doesn't get them. They're just passionate about making Albuquerque a better place, a safer place to live and work. They watch your home, watch your business with highly trained armed guards, 24-hour patrols, committed to our city and to your protection. Call IPS and see what they can do for you. I'm thrilled that they watch my home, and I think you will be as well. 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, not a great weekend for all the locals. Lobos won a men's tennis championship, Mountain West Conference. Lobo women won a Mountain West Conference golf championship. Congratulations to Jill Trujillo on another one of those. She was on our show just a couple weeks ago, Mountain West Commissioner Gloria Navarez, on Tuesday night, and she was on a panel on Wednesday and was leaving, headed out to Palm Springs to go catch the end of that and hand out that trophy. By the way, the more I talk to Gloria, the more I'm impressed with the Mountain West Conference Commissioner, and the more coaches I talk to, people within the league. You guys, I don't know what you thought of her when she was on the show. But I spent some good time with her Tuesday night, and I think this league's in a good place. And watched her on a panel with some established commissioners. She was on with Jim Phillips of the ACC and John Steinbrecher of the MAC, and it was the three of them up on a stage. And I thought she was really good. I don't know. Have you got any more of a feel for her? What you think of her as she's been on the job for now 4 months?
I think the Mountain West is in really good hands moving forward. With someone just because their last conference didn't play football didn't mean a thing, because she has experience in big time conferences in the Pac-12, and she understands that college athletics is changing. You have to be open to things in the future, and I am really excited for her vision and her leadership in this conference.
Yeah, I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be pretty good. So we'll watch it, and it's obviously a really important time in college athletics, but it's big. All right, locally, Gladiators were on the road. They get beat by Vegas 50-26, so they fall to 2-3. So what went down last week? I saw Nate Davis was on our show 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago.
Their quarterback,
right before the season started.
He got traded the other day, right?
Yes, he did.
Who'd they trade him to? Does it matter?
San Diego.
All right. What on earth?
That damn San Diego.
What happened?
No one knows, Jeff.
All right. Meanwhile, passing, they were just, this can't be. Like, I'm looking at their passing numbers. Can this be right? They lose 53-20. They went with two quarterbacks, Aaron Aiken and Demery Croft, in an arena.
New quarterbacks combined for 4 for 14.
4 for 13.
11 yards.
1 interception, no touchdown. What are we playing? Like, is Tim
11? Text I got 11 bleeping yards.
Was Tim Keller not available to play quarterback? The mayor couldn't play quarterback for them? I don't know
if the game was played in Rio Rancho, he would have played.
I really got to understand this. They only had 25 total plays. They ran the ball 21 times. They threw the ball 4 times. And they got beat 56-20. I'm going to have to figure this one out. But they got beat and beat relatively handily. So they are 2-3. Next up, they will be back on the road in Frisco on May 6th. So they're 2-3. New Mexico United on the road. They had a couple bad minutes again. They lose. Colorado Springs beat them 2-1 on a chilly night. I mean, if you watch the Colorado and the Dion stuff, so you realize it was chilly up in Colorado, but they lose 2-1. They are now 1 win, 3 losses, and a draw. They'll step out of USL Championship play this week. They get it at US Open Cup, and they'll play at home against Phoenix Rising. It's Wednesday. JJ 1-3-1, and their one victory, they won that opener in Miami, right? They won on the penalty kick. They won 1-0, and 0-3-1 since then. Only 4 points in 5 games. They do have games at hand against most of the league, but that's a rough start for New Mexico United.
Championship support, mid-table performance.
Championship support, mid-table performance. Yeah, that's probably right as of now.
And they, as you said, games played factors in. But you look at New Mexico United, they have taken 50 shots. That is 24th. That is dead last in the USL Championship.
Now, again, they've played 5 games, and many have played 7 or 8. Yep.
Creating chances, scoring opportunities, few and far between early in the season.
By the way, Phoenix, and how does this work? Like, what Phoenix Rising is played one more game, and if you're going by USL Championship record, they're 1 win, 1 loss, and 4 draws, 7 points opposed to 4. That's who they play in the US Open Cup, so this won't count in the standings. But in regards to, you'll play on Saturday, you play the Saturday before, you're playing an Open Cup, but it's survive and advance, lose and go home. Will you see most of their frontline roster
better
on the pitch this week for both teams?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Especially these 2 teams who have a little bit of a history, right? I mean, there's something to this.
And you want, if you're New Mexico United too, you want a solid Open Cup performance because you know how important that is to your franchise. You know how much energy and momentum that can carry because you can go out there and beat MLS backups and say you've been an MLS team.
United is the only club in the West. No, that's not right. Vegas is the only club in the West without a victory. United has 1 victory. Las Vegas they got 4 points. They're no wins, 1 loss, 4 draws. So that's where we're at.
Points.
Yep.
That was 4 minutes, man. It's just in that second half. You had the deflected shot that goes in, ends up being an own goal.
Yeah.
And then 3 minutes later, it's 2-1, and you're just like, what has happened?
Well, did you see the goal they scored though? That was a absolute giveaway
of a huge mistake.
Yeah, it was a huge giveaway, but nobody talks about that, right? Yeah. It was a huge giveaway by Colorado Springs. It's a horrible pass and basically open net. So, I mean, mistakes happen in the Capitol.
It just highlights the frustration for this team that's how you're scoring your goal versus open play, set pieces, just trying to find some momentum offensively.
Isotopes dropped 2 of 4 over the weekend at home to the Oklahoma City Dodgers. They get beat 11-1 yesterday. Got out to the ballpark on Friday night. Just good to be out there and having some food. And that was the walk-off night. They had the walk-off home run in the 9th. And they're off today. They will be on the road in Round Rock this week. Josh will have all the call from just outside of beautiful Austin, Texas. All right, this is beer week around here. Kind of so you don't like sweets, but you like beer, right?
Yeah. This is the sweet deals I can get down with.
Yeah, this is sweet. This is your sweet tooth. So this is right up your alley. All right. So each day this week, we're going to be highlighting a different brewery, and we got a sweet deal for you. So what you do is you go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com at 9:00, and you click on the sweet deal icon. And this is free beer, right? I mean,
if you really think about it, I did the math.
What's the math?
With the sweet deal today, you can get like 4 free beers.
On because you're getting $25 worth of free beer. Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't do this. And today it's 377 Brewery. I think you've heard of this place.
I have. I talk about it like every day on the Sports Animal.
Yeah, it's over there, over by the airport, Gibson and Yale. And so if you go to our website, you get $50 worth of beer for $25. And this is good for food over there too.
Yeah, food too. Yeah.
All right. You know that place a little bit?
I mean, I know that place. Yeah, northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. They have they're known for their unique beer. It's a European style beer. I don't know if you want to say unique, but it goes well with food. They have a really good menu, like Scratch Kitchen, and they have a full bar. So if you don't like beer, they got booze too. So go over there.
Food. Whatever I had there was really good.
Oh yeah, I think you had the fish and chips, which was like
that might be right.
They were very good food, and it's pet friendly, it's family friendly. JJ went there last week, right? JJ, you loved it.
Nachos.
Were they good?
They were good.
Right.
I'm harsh on my nachos.
Yeah, JJ got there.
You better have good nachos in Albuquerque.
TVs everywhere. I mean, you can go watch sports there. Bring the family there. They got brunch now. It's awesome.
Brunch. That's our sweet deal today. It's Beer Week. We're gonna have them every day. Go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the, or you can flip on it as well. The sweet deal icon. Take advantage. $50 worth of 377 Brewery for just $25. When we come back, the latest on the movement for the draft. The draft in the NFL is days away. There's talk around the Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. Is there some movement? What is it, and what should it be? Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
The Albuquerque Journal and
There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, LaCueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As LaCueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch, and she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one sent on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play. door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the La Cueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports.
On your phone, make sure you get over and get your free beer. I mean, hey Marie, I've only met one person in the world whose favorite beer isn't free. It's my little brother.
Really?
Yeah, he won't drink certain beer. I'm like, that's cool. Do your thing, man. Just don't tell me what I should drink. Call me names if I drink it. I'm a grown-ass man. I'll drink what I want. What?
And their beer is really good at 377 Brewery. Take advantage at 9 a.m.
Yep. All right. Draft is Thursday. What beer are you going to drink? The draft. We're going to watch it. I know you're going to. There's been so much around the Aaron Rodgers thing, right? I'm going to play for the Jets. They don't want me. No, he didn't want us. Who cares? I honestly, I don't care. I don't care who initiated the divorce. I really don't. Like, go do your thing. Let's just get it done so I can stop talking about it. Right? Do you care who initiated? When your friends get divorced, do you care who initiated it? Well, all right. That's not fair. You kind of do when it's your friends. When acquaintances get divorced, do you care if it was him or her? Or do you care?
No.
Do you care if Aaron Rodgers didn't return their call or they made him feel like he was unwanted? Do you care? I don't. What happens next is all I care about. Right?
Yes.
So we think he's going to the Jets. But there was a lot of chatter about the Niners swooping in. And I don't know that that's completely 100%
That's been chatter.
Right. So Trey Lance evidently is talking now because, well, at least they're trying to get him to talk. So this shows you how quickly and how slippery and how fragile that quarterback situation is in the NFL. Like, we're looking down, we're 6 deep names in the first round right now, aren't we?
Yes.
Like, if you say Hendon Hooker, I guess 5 deep, right?
Anthony Richardson, Will Levis,
and then Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. So we're 5 deep potentially in the first round. Trey Lance was like the Niners moved up to take him number 3 overall, right? And this was their guy, and they got rid of Jim Garoppolo, who's taken them to the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship. This is their guy. They put all their eggs in this basket. Now they got Brock Purdy there. Well, I mean, here's a guy, Mr. Irrelevant, and
we don't know what's going to happen with him with surgery.
Right. But they turned the franchise
and they
over
have Sam
to Trey
Darnold.
Lance.
Let's not forget that they have Sam Darnold.
It's all right if you forget that. I mean, I love me some Sam Darnold. I got this weird infatuation with USC quarterbacks. But okay. So, but would you say they've just who's the Niners quarterback? Like if they were going to commit to someone right now, who do you think they've committed to? They've not, right?
Brock Purdy.
So is Brock Purdy now?
John Lynch stated the fact.
And they got
He
Sam
did?
Darnold for backup.
Wait, back me up because I missed this last week. All right,
Well,
so
it's at the league meetings a couple weeks ago.
All right,
He said
so-
Brock Purdy would be.
if everybody's healthy, he's their guy. Okay. All right. So evidently they're fielding calls. If you're in the quarterback market, does Trey Lance interest you more than anybody in the first round? Any of those 5 names you just said? Will Levis, Anthony
No.
Richardson, Hendon Hooker, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. Does Trey Lance, who was the darling, and this is just 2 years ago, man, 2 years ago, that this was the guy. Oh, he's gonna be great. He's gonna be.
We didn't get a chance to see
no
what
idea.
he can. That's what I'm saying. He's like a first round draft pick all over again because we didn't get the chance to see him to see what he can do in the NFL.
All right, so
if he falls into your hands, he's not a priority. Over the top 5 you just listed for me personally, but I'm just saying.
Okay, no, that's fair because you have no idea and he's been injured.
Yeah, but if I need a quarterback, I'm like, okay.
All right, does he interest you more than any of those 5?
To me, Trey Lance is a great discount buy. And
What do you think you can get him for?
I don't know. It's not going to be a lot, especially 'cause the 49ers trying to say people are calling them about Trey Lance. They
That's
just
what
want to
they're
get. They just want to move on from Trey. And
Jim Garoppolo and
if a team that keeps coming to my mind, and I'm looking at it, if you're a team like Tampa Bay, like why not? It's like you have Baker Mayfield for a year.
Mm-hmm.
You got Kyle Trask, who, all right, you draft second or third round pick.
It's not your guy.
That makes sense if you want to. If they're like, yeah, we'll take a fourth round pick for Trey Lance at this point in time because they just want to move on. Like it's a team like that. Just throw something out there, see if it sticks.
Actually, I love that if you're them. I love that if you're them.
Because the Tampa Buccaneers are drafting 19.
What about Washington?
First round. Commanders. I'm going to bring someone in the roll out there with Sam Howell. Go for it.
Are the Rams in the quarterback market?
Yeah.
They are, right? I mean,
you just what Matthew Stafford is talking about, he's not the same guy.
They got 1 year out of him. By the way, it was worth it.
Yes, that's what you want. That's the goal.
And they would have been a
Go
lot
all
more
in, win a Super
competitive
Bowl.
had he not suffered an injury last year.
Yeah.
Like that's why they were not a good team.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know who their quarterbacks were last year. Who are they throwing out there? I forget.
Baker Mayfield.
Oh, yeah, it was Baker Mayfield. Well, but before they got Baker Mayfield, who was it? There was somebody in between, wasn't there?
It's very memorable.
Obviously. Trey Lance will be traded, won't he? Trey Lance has talked about it. Kind of. I got no comment. I have no information. That's what he said. He said he's aware of the chatter, but I got no comment. And then he finally said, I'm all cleared, so I'm good to go. I got cleared a little over a month ago, so I'm feeling really good, ready to get back to work. Last year I played the one game in Chicago, got hurt. So it was kind of over before it even got started, but I'm just excited for this year. The offseason, I'm just focusing on getting better, focusing on getting these guys better in the locker room, and just being a great teammate and a great leader. That was his quote. This isn't one where he can't go in as the backup. Like, and hell, he's going to be the starter, right? Because Brock Purdy's not going to be ready to go. So if you go in right now, and if your quarterback room is Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, and Sam Darnold, Trey Lance is your starter, isn't he?
Trey Lance has a chance to win your starting job.
Well, he's competing with Sam Darnold because Brock Purdy's not going to be ready.
But if it's very evident that San Francisco doesn't trust him to win that situation.
Does this sound insanely familiar to Jim Garoppolo a year ago? And then he ended up back on the roster and leading them to the playoffs until he got hurt? And then Brock Purdy came in, leading to the playoffs. I mean, I guess 6 games in. But, right? I mean, doesn't it sound like the same kind of, we don't want him, but, I mean, if we have to. How is this that much different? Except for the guy that they're turning over the reins this time is hurt. So they got, honestly, you think the plan is let's start the season with Sam Darnold and see what we can do until Brock gets ready. Really? Like I think
You don't sign him if you don't feel that.
Yeah, I just think
you
it's
could
his
accept
safety
that reality.
for you. Yeah.
okay, but if the question is, do I want Sam Darnold or Trey Lance as my starting quarterback? Who do you want? I mean, I think I want Trey Lance.
You can't take that risk.
You want to see Trey Lance,
right?
Because you just need to know this guy going to be anything.
The 49ers have such a small window with this amazing Super Bowl team winning
And
roster that they
quarterbacks
have.
crippling them.
That's the only reason they don't have a Super Bowl right now.
So maybe, what if
in
you
the last 5 years? I mean,
no, maybe. What if Trey Lance goes out there and he's pretty good?
They're
Brock
quarterback
Purdy's
away.
ready. Now you can trade Trey Lance. You can get a hell of a lot more because somebody's going to need a quarterback in week 3. Right?
Yeah. Can't take a risk on Trey Lance with this roster that you have for the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay, but are you taking any less or more of a risk with Trey Lance than you are with Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold at least has the experience.
I've seen ghosts.
He sees ghosts.
I know.
Like real live, like ghosts while he's playing football.
I still trust experience. Real life ghosts, sorry. I still trust it over. I don't know what's going to happen with Trey Lance.
Okay. I might too because they know better. They've seen him, but that's the Trey Lance. They turned the whole franchise over, and now they don't trust him.
Has Sam Darnold ever played in an offense with how many ridiculous weapons they've had?
Very few have.
And that's probably too the reason why.
I mean,
San Francisco's like, look,
listen,
we've been competitive with
serviceable.
all these guys running through. If we can get Brock Purdy to do this, we can get Sam Darnold.
My point is, if you were so convinced on Lance, right?
Yeah, but didn't work out.
Why? Because he got broken in one game, okay, and broken pretty severely. So all of a sudden now he's not that guy I saw in one game.
I mean,
what did they see that has completely changed their focus that he's not the guy?
I just don't think you've seen enough.
But that's what I think you're getting at, Jeff. Is why wouldn't you just bring him in the camp to compete?
That's what I
why.
say.
Why would you even be trying to trade?
100%.
But also, maybe if you know there's some value, you can go get something better.
But is there value? Like, is it worth a 4th or 5th pick?
Maybe.
But you're not getting something better out of that in the quarterback.
That's that, right? What are you getting better? And if you were so convinced he's the guy, and then he gets broken in one game, like, why is he not that guy anymore?
Because they've seen Brock Purdy and other quarterbacks.
Okay, that's fine. If you think Brock Purdy's better, I'm
or
listening.
Jimmy G.
Okay. I've seen Sam Darnold, dude. I've watched Sam Darnold.
I know, but we've seen Sam Darnold with a Jets team and a Carolina Panthers team. Like, maybe I am not saying he's the best quarterback. I'm saying maybe he's serviceable until they figure out the quarterback position.
And he is probably that.
Yeah, I trust them signing them.
But where I all of a sudden, because what was the injury? He broke his leg?
It kind of reminds me of it reminds me of not so much Teddy Bridgewater, but kind of.
Well, I mean, the dude was you got rid of Jim Garoppolo. You turned your whole franchise over to this guy. He breaks his ankle in game 1, and now, he's not the guy.
Now you can't even bring him back for training camp.
I don't get the mindset. What don't I know? 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. In the morning, Taco Bell.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505.
Got way too much Niner talk, and the surf is mushy and blown out today. But it is a lot of Niners talk. All I'm saying is I don't know, but if a year ago they were ready to turn their whole franchise over to Trey Lance, and he was that good, and they turned it over and he broke his ankle in game 1, what did they see that all of a sudden he's not worth being there. Now, if you're telling me you like Brock Purdy better, I got it, and I can listen to that.
I think that's what they saw. They saw Brock Purdy win games, take them to the playoffs, and I think if you're San Francisco, you'd be scared going, man, do we have to go through a year of growing pains, to Amory's point, when their window's
work
right
out
now?
sometimes.
No, I could say Brock Purdy's my guy, but
sometimes it's just the stars aren't in your favor either. Like, there's the injuries. It sucks that he got injured, and it's just not meant to be, maybe.
But if Brock Purdy's not healthy week 1, why would I not see if Trey Lance is better than Sam Darnold?
I think they're past that. It's
because of one game he broke his ankle.
Yes.
All that investment we traded up, all that we traded.
It happens. We see busts all the time.
Okay. But does that make him that's what I'm asking.
He's not a
what
bust.
What made him a bust?
He's not a bust. He's just he's not going to be the 49ers.
You use that word. That's why I was asking.
Well, I'm saying, okay, but at first I said sometimes it just didn't work out.
All right. Fair enough.
So, and I think
we've seen it with other quarterbacks that get injured too.
It's just they made a whole change of direction, and they saw him play one game, and I'm like, what? After everything they gave up to put him in that position.
I totally get what you're saying. I just think sometimes they're just like, all right, didn't work out, move forward.
All right. Jess, you're on the opening drive on the Sports Animal. Hello, Jess.
What's up? What up? What up?
What's going on?
So, quarterback position's always a crapshoot. And I mean, you look at something like even Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. You look at all those guys. You look at somebody like Kurt Warner. Sometimes it just takes a guy getting a chance. And I think that Brock Purdy, I think a lot of things happen in the background that we don't see. Maybe, and I think this happens with a lot of guys that are super talented. Guys play differently for, different reasons, but just you've had bosses in the past. Just personalities, you'll work harder for a certain dude. Maybe sometimes it's not really hard to explain or, maybe, and we don't see that. Maybe there's just something about Brock Purdy that other dudes just rally behind that guy, and he just happens to be good enough too, and then they can build around him. But I think that happens around the league all the time. And then you have guys like a Kirk Cousins where, he's pretty good, but I don't think dudes rally around that dude most of the time. Sure, you had the party on the plane the one time, but he's just one of those dudes that I just don't think guys rally behind. You look at somebody like Tim Tebow. Dudes will run through everything for that guy. Can't throw a football. Sometimes you have those weird combinations, and maybe Brock has that. And and then you have this weird asset, and sometimes you only get a year. That's the beautiful thing about football. And we're seeing what's happening with guys. Sometimes they just want a chance. You see the Jets. Maybe they're willing to give enough, a whole lot for 1 year, or maybe who knows what you're going to get out of Aaron Rodgers. You don't get him at all.
No, you're right.
So it's the quarterback position. You guys have a wonderful day, and it's always a crapshoot.
Yeah, that's the truth. All right, thanks, man. I'm not telling you that I can't see that Brock Purdy's the guy, and he's my guy instead of Trey Lance. I've seen enough. I'm just telling you this. I don't see how all of a sudden after one game, and maybe there's something internally that they saw. I mean, they know way more than I do. They see him every day. But what is it that went from we're giving up so much to turn our franchise over to this guy? One game in, he breaks his ankle. We don't want him. If you tell me Brock Purdy's better than him, I'm down. I watched it. I think he probably is better than him. But I'm not sure I think that Sam Darnold is. That's all. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us on a Monday. It's good stuff. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
I'm Brad Hell.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
It's the OD in the AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Buck.
Nothing gets people going like quarterback talk, man. It's kind of crazy, and it's all quarterback talk because the draft is on Thursday, and well, I mean, I don't even know if there's anybody in this thing but quarterbacks, right? It's only quarterbacks in the draft, right? Not really. ODAM, what's up to you on a beautiful Monday morning in the Borque? Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie, band's back together. Where was I, like, the day before I went to, I was in Cruces. I saw that, by the way. Forgot that. I was down in Cruces. And then news came out, Friday? That Mario got a 5-year contract extension. Mario Mocha, the athletic director at New Mexico State. I know
everything happened after 10 a.m.
You guys didn't get into that either. Yeah, I got word of that.
New Lobo basketball player, a new game on the schedule, Mario Mocha extension, all after 10 a.m.
So it's all open for you at 505-246-0610.
That's one of those headlines that you're like, what?
And he got a pretty nice raise. It was signed by the former Chancellor Arvizu. Evidently dated the day of the former Chancellor's final day on the job. And if Mario gets fired without cause, then they owe him the whole thing, the extent of it. So obviously, Chancellor Arvizu, because that was a big talk, right? Is Mario going to get through this? Is he going to get through it? And New Mexico State fan, very, very happy with their athletic director. Like nobody's happy with what happened with their basketball program. Nobody's happy with what went down, and you had the lawsuit filed last week, that I know you guys got into, which has a lot of details in there and names and a lot of stuff. I know you guys, I'm assuming you guys got deep into that last week. Nobody's happy about that. And there's the camp that says, well, it happened under Mario's watch. He's got to be responsible. And then there's the other camp who says, well, I mean, how would he have known? Everything else that's happened there has been positive. Look at these hires. Look at what they've done. Look at their budget. You got them into Conference USA. And look, I'm going to tell you, I was having this conversation with somebody over the weekend. That's a damn tough job.
It's a very tough job.
Okay. And that doesn't mean, I don't know where that came from. That doesn't mean that anything is excusable. I mean, every one of us has a hard job. Jeff, how hard's your job? We all have tough jobs. I don't know anybody who's got an easy job. Okay. And we all accept the terms of our jobs, and we go and do the best, and we perform to the expectations and try to exceed them. And Mario, in many measurables, has been very, very good at New Mexico State. And so if you looked, I don't know what you saw, and we probably saw somewhat different things. The social media response to Mario's extension, JJ, I'm going to tell you, was probably like 8-1 in positive, in favor of it, from New Mexico State. Well, from I don't even know who they are, right? They're posting, but people who
I think Aggie fans are in the corner of Mocha.
Yeah.
And when you read the story, when it was dated, when this extension was agreed upon, it was before the lawsuit was filed.
Yeah, but they knew something was coming.
But that's the out, right? That's what the fans can point to, and that's what you can tell your fans is, well, we believe that we had things cleaned up and we're moving in the right direction.
Okay.
And there's plenty of fans that will eat that up and say, absolutely, we're on board with the hoorah. Okay. But just the lack of awareness has been astounding.
When you say that,
from the beginning, like, you can't be like, yeah, look, it's our athletic director, Mario Mocha, 5 more years, awesome, Conference USA. Do you realize what you're going through? And this isn't just some disgruntled player that some people tried to throw that out there and saying that's the only reason that lawsuit came down is because the coach told them to move on. So they're trying to retaliate. It's like this stuff.
That lawsuit
they
didn't
canceled
happen
that
overnight,
program for a reason, man. This stuff is not made up media creation.
When you got the lawsuit, I don't know how much of you've read. It's a 28-page document. And even if you just read the stories on it, did it make you feel any differently about what went down? In regards to what should happen, to whom it should happen, I mean, did it make you feel different?
Well, it's one that, if these allegations are true, why this lawsuit needs to happen is because then those people involved, if they knew anything about it, they should be nowhere near a college basketball team, high school basketball team, anything like that ever in their life.
And that's where the critics and look, I this is one of those where I've got to kind of come clean, right? I mean, you know this. I mean, Mario's a friend of mine. I do this long enough, and I get relationships with people. Eddie Nunez is, I consider, a good friend, and so I come to this with a little bit of I don't know, preconceived or whatever, but I also understand. I try to look at it from 30,000 feet as well and walk away from it. And I think we've said from the beginning, if Mario knew what was going on and it continued, then how can he not be held accountable? But
where everyone, like, the lawsuit was filed, there's no criminal charges as of now.
Well, Mario's not even named in that lawsuit.
Well,
I think
Mario's not named in the lawsuit.
I think that's a very glaring right. I think that's a big deal that he is not named in that lawsuit. Yes,
I'm also talking about for the players that were named, the coaches that were named in it. You have to let this process play out, and it's one that they didn't deny things went on. That's why they shut the program down, and it's serious enough that, like, you have to get answers.
Yeah,
to this.
I think that's going to be interesting if and when this does go to a trial. If they don't settle, and whoever they have, I mean, there's a lot of theys here. The fact that is NMSU shutting down the program, acknowledging that this went down. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As much as people can say not guilty, or it's not, it's a civil suit, so it's not a trial, it's not a not guilty thing. But we didn't do it; it didn't happen. The fact that they shut down the program is that admission in its own right that the mess went down. Look, obviously, Chancellor Arvizu was in Mario's corner. There's going to be a new boss in town. The investigations have never come back and put this on Mario, have they? I mean, the Rhodey law firm didn't. This lawsuit that was filed by Jolene Youngers, the attorney up here who's representing the family, did not mention Mario in there. And so moving on, look, now you're in a tough spot too, because not only you're dealing with the cleanup of everything, you've got to lead a program. You've got to move forward. You're going into a new conference here in a couple of months, and you're competing. You're finishing out an academic year. They're rebuilding a basketball program. Their football program just had a spring game the other day. We have 70-something new players on the football roster, by the way. I'm curious where people are. I'm really curious where people are in regards to this extension and Mario getting it. Whether you're an Aggie fan, I'd love to hear from you. 505-246-0610. And if you're even if you're not, just perception of everything that you've seen. I know there's a big contingency that thinks, oh, it's the media and the northern media, and they're out to get the Aggies. I'm going to tell you something, and I don't care what you think of this show and us. We're not out to get anybody, and certainly not out to get New Mexico State. I mean, JJ, we've had their coaches on every week for I like when they do well. I like when New Mexico does well. This is makes life better. So I'm just kind of looking where perception is, perspective. When you saw it, were you surprised by it when it came out Friday? When you saw Mario got the extension, and a pretty nice, pretty hefty raise, pretty good raise. Yeah,
just that the timing of it right now. That even if you had agreed upon something, wouldn't you say, "Hey guys, let's try to not have this extension come out a couple days after the lawsuit was filed against the university, some buffer time in there from a PR standpoint."
Interesting. It was interesting the way it all played down. All right, 505-246-0610. I'm going to get to some of your correspondence about the transfer portal. And JJ, I've got it on here. Where's all the playing time coming from? We're going to talk through with the additions for New Mexico of Mustafa Amzil, Nelly Jr. Joseph, Jamaro Baker, to go with what they've already got for Lobo basketball. Where's the playing time coming from? We'll talk through the theories when we come back. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal.
Last year.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the front.
OD AM. Good morning to you. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in on some of this stuff. It's quarterback conversation's been good, and then I know you're in on a little basketball. Where's the playing time coming from, JJ? What did you say? Here comes that email?
Absolutely.
Came in an hour and 12 minutes ago. Jeff, Lobo basketball just lost half their roster over concerns about playing time and having enough touches to go around. So they add a bunch of new guys, but what they can't add is more available minutes. There's not going to be any more touches. In fact, there may be fewer because Dent's going to demand more of them. Okay, so a couple of things. Maybe they lost. Who they lose because there's not enough minutes to go around? Javonte, maybe.
KJ.
Okay. Okay. Do you feel like you've upgraded from Javonte Johnson and KJ Jenkins? You've added Jamal Baker. Because I think Mustafa Amzil and Nelly Jr. Joseph replace Udeze and Alec, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you got 2 spots open. You've added Baker to replace probably Javonte, right?
Yes.
Do you have a shooter?
Baker.
Okay.
Amzil is actually
yeah.
He's a stretch 4.
Yeah. No, he can shoot.
So he brings a different look to the offense, which I like, plus his length. They figure he can be a contributor defensively.
Okay. I think you've upgraded. Now, minutes, look, don't you want, and Machine, I know I ask you this every time you send this, and we'll differ on this, but don't you want the problem of having too many guys for not enough minutes as opposed to too many minutes for not enough guys? Don't you want to have guys competing for time and having some guys on the bench who are probably pretty good and may transfer next year, as opposed to not having enough guys and we're sitting here in January going, where are the points coming from? Wouldn't you rather it that way? Tell me what I miss here. Isn't this the first world problem that you're looking for? So, yes, you're going to have 3 guards demanding minutes. And so maybe Mashburn and House don't play 36, 38 minutes a game. Maybe they play 32 minutes a game. And Dent gets 20 plus. And maybe you're a little fresher down the stretch. Again, I look at the teams like UConn and San Diego State who made it to the finish line. They're pretty deep, weren't they? They were sharing minutes and sharing the ball. So I got no problem. And this is where you got to understand, guys, some of these guys left not because they weren't getting minutes. They were basically told, hey, it's not going to work here anymore, man. You're getting recruited over, right? So, Lobo Hobo says, Jeff, there's only so much money to go around. Most folks can only dig so deep into their pockets. We're talking about NIL stuff. How much cannibalism is there going to be between NIL and the Lobo Club or the university as a whole? By the way, the chemistry department still has their hands out. The J.J. Buck OD scholarship still needs money. Yeah, this is just another place that's asking for money.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, so are the Gladiators and United and Isotopes and New Mexico Bowl and everybody else who's out there. Yeah, it's a tough market out there. Did Kurt get into that a little bit? Because when he said, they both have to rise, did he talk about how that's going to work? Not really. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, guess what?
What?
It's still a lot there, and I'm sure over the summer, Kurt's going to come back in and we'll be able to extend it more on this conversation because he acknowledges, this is still so new and they are learning as they go with all this stuff.
Yeah. Jack says, Coach JJ, Jeff, I think you can replay Coach JJ from 12 months ago. Say the same exact thing. House and Hash. I said Hash to make it funny. Need to cut back to 25 minutes a game in the regular season to keep everyone happy. And that works great until the first close contest when Jay Allen Tovar is bailing because those guys played 38 minutes. I don't think that's why Jay Allen Tovar bailed is because Mashburn and House were getting the minutes, first of all. Guys are going to have to accept different roles. And I got to believe that's part of the conversation as the guys who decided to stay.
Well, it's also different when your backup point guard is a sophomore with experience versus a true freshman.
And you didn't know exactly what Donovan Dent was going to be, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So it's not surprising that the minutes in the backcourt ended up the way they were last year.
You were down to kind of a 7-man rotation, weren't you? It was Dent coming off, and then one of the backup bigs, whether it was Forsling or Sek, getting a few minutes.
6-man rotation.
Yeah, it was kind of a 6+, right? You get a few minutes, like 6-7 minutes from one of the bigs. Don't you want to be more than a 6-man rotation? Don't you? Again, I keep pointing to the teams who made it to the finish line, and look
Absolutely.
At how deep they went.
But it's easier said than done.
100% it
because
is.
this is on the coaching staff to do it, and we've all watched a ton of basketball. I've seen it firsthand where you think there's depth, but when you're in that moment, you're in that game, you're looking at your upperclassmen starters, and you're like, yeah, I'm not taking you out of the game right now. You have to make a conscious effort to do that and be like, okay, this is minutes we're giving you, and not just be like, oh, we have to win this game, so go eat.
This is a big rotation thing, though. This is between 15 and 5 minutes on the clock in the first half, right? This is between 16 and 8 on the clock in the second half, right? Where are some of those minutes? Let me give my guys some rest, and then the game starts to sway the other way, and it gets away, and you're looking. I got to get my guys.
You ride your starters, or your go-to guys on the stretch.
100%, I get it. But you get into rotations. If you go back over years, if you look at some of those Alford teams, you knew exactly when the 6-man was coming in. You knew exactly when in the game he was going to check in. Whether it was right after the first media timeout or whenever, you knew it's a rotation. And you hear that word rotation all the time. It gets relatively rhythmic, right? Now, foul trouble and things like that will skew it, and you have to make adjustments in game. But if you get into if you're going to tell me that I got these 6, right? The 3 new guys and the 3 returning guards. And then somehow I want to get Toppin, Washington, and Webb some time. Am I missing someone?
Appelhans.
And Appelhans. So I got 10 dudes and a backup big. All right, yeah. Like to all your guys' points, Jack and Lobo Hobo and Mean Machine, there's going to be competition. I'm going to go back to this, and you're going to have a hard time getting me away from this one. Wouldn't you rather have competition and too many dudes for not enough minutes as opposed to too many minutes and not enough dudes? Isn't this kind of what you want? And competition makes everybody better. And yeah, so this time next year, you're going to have a dude or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 leaving because they didn't rise to the top. Isn't that what you want?
It's what you want, but it's also, can the coach do it?
Well, okay.
Because that's, I think, and last year, you know what? I'll use UNM women for example. Like Bradbury has a tight rotation, and he's playing to win games. And yes, player development's a part of that. But at times when you're in the season, like, I'm sorry, I'm not worried about, my backup 3 right now when we're trying to win this game, even early in this season. Like, your focus was winning those games.
You got a tight game against Montana State, and it's a 4-point game with 3 minutes to go. I'm not worried about.
Yeah, your starters are going to be in there.
Yeah.
But even early in those games, opening up the rotation, it's hard to do because young players are going to make mistakes. Your team is going to fall behind at times. But what we saw, and why am I using this as an example? Because I will point to the WNIT. When his hand was forced and he had to go to the bench and use his rotation, and there were some performances that no one expected with players off that bench.
That's really good. I would ask, those of you guys who are concerned about the playing time, then how would you like the roster to be constructed? Not just the first 7 or 8. You got 15 dudes on that roster. So do you want guys at the back end who just aren't good? Give me the 15 best guys I can find and be honest with them and make them understand, look, some of you guys are going to be a role player. Like, I got to believe True Washington's coming in knowing he's not going to be a 30-minute guy next year. Don't you think he knows that?
Yeah, just, even if the coaches don't tell you that, you're like, oh, let me pick up the roster.
Oh,
okay. Probably coming out the bench, even as a top 100 recruit.
Yeah, I'm playing behind Jamal Mashburn, Jalen House, Donovan Dent. Like, where are my minutes coming from? Now, Toppin is an interesting one to me. Toppin could find, if he's as good as he sounds, that's a freshman that could find some minutes. If he's that true stretch, that swing 3-4, they can go out and defend. And by the way, they better defend better. I mean, they got to defend. But look,
and one thing too with Washington, I've seen it 6'3", 6'4", listed in both ways coming in. Baker's 6'4", 6'5". I think the difference too is maybe they're not the 6'6", 6'7", which you're talking about, which by the way you have with Appelhans and Webb. But have fun trusting freshmen during the season. Again, you're gonna. It's tough, but you're gonna have to do it. It's the strength. Those guys are bigger. When you look at Washington, we look at Baker, that's what we're talking about too at times. Yeah, you want to be long, but also I think the just physicality and stronger is going to help this team on the perimeter.
I'm going to just continue to contend that I think you're just better being deeper, and some guys aren't going to play. Give me talent. Give me the first world problem as opposed to what we had, with Paul Weirs last year, where you're just trying to find enough guys that you felt you want to be competitive, right? McQuatch Malwatch played all day and got point, but didn't you need like 6 more of them, 7 more of them? Give me this problem. I think he's constructing the roster the right way, and the fittest will survive. The cream's going to rise to the top, but give me guys that have to fight for their playing time as opposed to guys who are just going to get it. Make me better every day. Make me better every week. And I mean, that's the problem I want.
And I have been telling you about 377 Brewery. We talk about 377 Brewery every day here on the Sports Animal, and it just keeps getting better and better. They have Sunday brunch now from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Everyone loves brunch. I love going there for brunch, especially because they have a Bloody Mary bar and a mimosa bar. It's so good. The food's amazing. They have a beautiful patio. The weather's so nice. So go out there for their new brunch. But even better today, they are a sweet deal here on the Sports Animal. You can go to sportsanimalabq.com and you can get a $50 gift certificate for $25. They are going fast. Again, $50 for $25 at 377 Brewery. Get online, get the sweet deal now. They are conveniently located again at the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson, or check them out at 377brewery.com.
Last year, you gave us books, and we gave you beer. You remember.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family.
It's such an intriguing conversation, and to me, it seems like such the no-brainer. But those of you who are dug in on either side of this conversation are dug in, right? I mean, every year we get the same emails during recruitment and building a global basketball roster. Where's the playing time coming from, Jeff? Where not enough minutes. People are going to be disgruntled, and the answer is, well, there's a number of answers. I just asked you, how do you want them to construct the roster? Like eight guys and then a bunch of guys that aren't very good? Every January, JJ, except for this last one, don't we sit here and take calls and talk about where they're getting scoring from? They can't score. If they shut down this one, right? Haven't we done that annually?
Yeah.
Almost coming off of the same exact year where people tell me, there's not enough playing time and there's all these guys are going to be disgruntled. What do you want? Mike says competition's beautiful, Jeff Alou. In theory, if everyone buys in, but if guys are going to pout and be in the portal this time next year, that's the problem. Mike, there will be guys in the portal this year. I think we've almost got to back off saying, well, that's the problem. That's not a problem anymore.
Yeah, guys in the portal.
Maybe, yeah. Kind of Connecticut does too. Maybe it's a problem, but it's reality. If you want to say it's a problem, you might even be right. It's reality. Okay, the portal is reality. I promise you, there will be dudes in the portal next year, just like there were this year. Guys got to buy in. Everybody cannot be a 35-minute-a-game guy. Every team's got guys who are coming off the bench. Like Jeff just sent me this text that I heard the question about playing time. Where are the minutes coming from? He says, I get this email every spring when new players sign and fans think they're all great. My answer is always the same. What's the alternative? Do you want the coaches to not use all 13 scholarships? They have to keep recruiting players, so why not get good ones? So it's kind of exactly what I just said, isn't it? I don't know. So what would you like? So I'll ask. And Mike and Lobo Hobo and Mean Machine and all you guys who are on Jack on that side of it, what would you suggest and how would you construct the roster? Did you not want Mashburn and House and Dent coming back, or did you not want to go recruit a top 100 guard and get Toppin and Mustafa Amzil and Nelly Jr. Like, how would you put the roster together? To me, go out and get the best players you can, have a competition. Tell me how I'm missing this. Because the guys who are on that side are as dug in as I am.
And there's challenges with whatever route you're going to take, and then it's on the coaching staff. It's on those players to buy in to whatever is going to make you successful. And if you're trying to get depth, and that does look like what the Lobos are trying to do, especially in the backcourt and on the wing, you got to commit to that, and you got to have your leaders buy in. And go one of two ways. But right now, the way that you're hoping is, hey, we're talented. We got guys that know this team can do things at a really high level. We want to take steps forward. So here's what we're going to do to take those steps.
Yeah. Text line says, I'd rather have players competing for minutes than players who don't have talent. Lobos should be fine. It looks like another fun year. Howell, it's from Don. I don't know the other route. I mean, what are you going to do? Give me guys who don't want to be here, don't want to play, who aren't very good, who can't play. Then I get injuries, and I get a defection. I don't know. Remember the year the Carlton Bragg, Jaquan Lyle year? We started out 11-1 or whatever it was. And then you have defections and guys leave and guys you have to leave. And then what happens? Wouldn't you rather be really, really deep? I mean, for the life of me, I don't understand it. All right, I got a bunch in on New Mexico State's athletic director, Mario Mocha, getting an extension. This is on the text line at 505-246-0610. This one says, quote, if he knew, end quote, yeah, right. It all, and then the capital letters, only happened under his watch. And then it says, keeping the main scumbag. Nice, great recruiting tool to use against New Mexico State. Okay. And again, I don't know everything. I don't know if that person knows everything. I understand what the optics look like. And I don't know. Is it a recruiting tool against New Mexico State? Jason Hooten just signed. I saw 2 players commit this weekend. I don't know. He's putting the whole roster together. This one says, Aggies the day before he retires, Chancellor gives AD a 5-year extension. Nice buddy. Maybe Daniel Snyder can sign coach to a 5-year extension the day before he sells team. Hope Jerry Kill is doing well, it says. Okay. I think this is going to be right along party lines, right? Aggie fan seems pretty fired up about it. Lobo fan is going to go where the other guy went, right? I mean, this one will be right along. This will be a pretty partisan issue, don't you think? Have you talked to many Aggie fans who are not behind Mario getting this extension? Have you
seen anyone?
Right?
Doesn't support Mario.
Now, I've talked to some who are like, I hope this is right. I hope he doesn't know. I want to believe that. Like, I've got a lot of that from people who are alums who they I mean, where there's smoke is there always fire. And there's smoke, right? So I've gotten that, but this one feels like it's going to go right along party lines. All right, Lobo Hobo's in on Gladiators quarterback. I can't believe that. What did you tell me? 4 for 11 for like 10 yards or something ridiculous? In an indoor arena football game.
11 yards passing.
It's insane. Says, I know from my challenge, Jeff, you've got a gun for an arm, Jeff. Maybe Gina can give you a call. Yeah, I don't know if my back could take the hits anymore. I might not be in the best shape anymore. I mean, I don't know. You can, though. Look, you're in shape. Gene's concerned about Albuquerque's AAA franchise, Jeff. It's amazing that they're above 500 right now when they're right where they were 12 months ago, last in defense. In fact, statistically, they're a little worse than last year when they were historically bad. He's worried about the isotopes and defense. All right. Ken's in on – we're all over the place today, Marie. All over the place. Ken wants to know, where are all the events, Jeff? I heard Trevisani with Bob Clark last week say they looked at university facilities to play, but they're just so busy they can't play there. First of all, why isn't Ken getting invited to all these supposed events? I find it hard to believe that we are so incompetent around here that we can't have a CPR class in the morning and a soccer game at night in the same facility. The whole conversation.
What?
This is going to take us down a different road.
Yeah.
I'll go. There was when United was talking about their facility. Remember, there was a long conversation. At least we had it for a while about. Well, okay, there was initially a real conversation, which I hate, about selling the football stadium to United. And then leasing it back to UNM football. I think that's a death knell for UNM football. Some of you think that's a great idea. It's not. But then there was a conversation about the soccer facility, which is adjacent to it. You've got parking. You've got a soccer facility. Could you sell them that? The parking's there, the land's there, and then they could build it up into whatever they want it to be. And then UNM women's soccer would lease from them. There's a big issue about, do you want your soccer team leasing from them? That one, I might have been entertained for a minute, but I think that's done. You have some existing facilities that maybe don't get as much run as some people think they should. Did you ever like either one of those ideas? No. I know you hated the football like I did.
UNM should own their fields.
Yeah.
For their student athletes, for their university.
Yep.
Absolutely. And this wasn't just because there was a CPR event. You can't have a soccer game and isotopes baseball at the same time. That's the biggest issue.
Is that the long-term plan in El Paso? Are they building them a stadium? I know the El Paso team, the Locomotive, they play in the baseball
You can live with it. Like, there's teams that are doing it. Like, to your point, El Paso's doing it.
Yep.
But your scheduling is really tough. And it's...
Well, you have one priority tenant, and the other one, and it feels like soccer
schedules... And they got lucky that this Open Cup game
was in the right week.
When the Isopes were on the road, so they don't have to play it at Rio Rancho High School.
Yeah, it's soccer. You have more changing of schedule throughout the season than you do with baseball. And baseball, in this case, is the priority tenant. They have priority.
And once the baseball schedule comes out, you can set your schedule. You're fine.
But then Open Cup stuff comes up. Yeah. Then you have a friendly and international friendly comes to town. They have they're changing stuff throughout the year, right?
But it's understandable why United would want to get away from that area.
I get it.
Because if you
About
even if
from
you
the
said you're
area?
playing, yeah, because even if you went along those lines
I get it.
of, oh, we're playing at University Stadium, or we're going to do soccer, you still have
Parking.
the same schedule because you're going opposite the isotopes anyway.
Well, you got parking issues.
Can you
right?
imagine the same night like that working?
Yes, I can.
With two things across the street.
Look, man. Remember, it wasn't that long ago. UNM scheduled a basketball game against Arizona the same day as New Mexico Bowl. It started in the third quarter of New Mexico Bowl. Remember that parking nightmare?
That's my point.
Yeah.
You don't want.
No, I can. But
Like,
my
yeah,
point
it
is, I
can
can
happen, but you
imagine
don't
it.
want
It was a nightmare.
The last thing you want.
Yeah. It was not good for anybody. I get it. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. We'll discuss them all. It's the opening drive. I'm going to get you up to date on everything that happened this morning that you need to know as you go throughout your day on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Science with the CBS.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control tower.
DeJounte Murray of the Atlanta Hawks for initiating contact with an official after a game. It looks like he's probably going to be suspended for their next game in their playoffs against Boston. They're down 3-1 and facing elimination. Warriors survive. Steph Curry goes Chris Webber, but they survive his brain fart. Called timeout when they didn't have one. Warriors survive 126-125. That series is tied at a pair apiece. Headed back to California's capital, Sacramento, for Game 5. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, Amory. A couple of interesting things on the text line. Talking about Lobo basketball. We're talking about recruiting and the depth on this roster, and some people are saying it's a problem. You have too many people, and there's going to be disgruntled players, and there's going to be players in the portal next year. And yeah, like I'll bet my mortgage with any of you want to bet that there'll be players in the portal next year. Yes, it's college athletics this year. Text line says, saying this is a problem proves how ignorant Lobo fan is. Do you think coaches of blue blood programs worry about this problem? Hashtag Go Lobos. Program was in quotes. No, it's not a problem. It's something. JJ's point's right. Richard Pitino is going to have to manage through this. He's going to have to find a rotation. Do you keep guys happy that aren't playing? It's hard to keep a guy happy that's not playing.
You still got to perform.
Yeah.
In those moments.
Well, but
like to earn those minutes, like if you're a dude that's been given plenty of opportunity, you're not performing, then the rotation's going to change.
That's how it is. It's survival. It's like your job. Who gets promoted? The top performers, right? Jeff, it's not a job. Well, I get it. It's life, though. Who gets promoted? Who gets elevated? Guys who perform, the ladies who perform, the people who perform. It's how it is. Talking about a stadium for United. This one says, if United keep their downward trend and the newness wears off, everyone will be able to get in for a can of soup. The city or state should not invest the public monies in them. It's interesting. Do they have to keep winning to keep their momentum going? Because it's year 5 now. Does it feel new? Do you feel excitement? And this is more your world. This is why I yield to you a bit. In United is the same as it's been in the past. And does winning and losing matter?
Yes, it's sports.
Yeah.
Winning and losing matters to everything. And if you go through years where you're last place in your division or last place in your conference,
well, they're fighting. They get one of those last playoff spots, 8 out of 12 in their division.
but it doesn't matter who you are. You're going to take a hit. It's sports.
I think that's right. I think winning,
but I think they've carved out enough of a niche that there's always going to be a solid foundation.
Now,
like game 1 home opener over 11,000. Now if you're a bottom half team come late October, it's going to be different.
Now Isotopes have kind of bucked that trend, right? Isotopes haven't won anything, but they've always gotten a pass because they don't control their roster. I think that's why. Like, I know we've had this conversation. Scorpion fans back in the hockey days, winning and losing mattered. To some extent, Gladiators does. But United winning and losing matters, because they've made it such an emphasis for the club, right?
Yeah.
But they control their own roster.
Well, because that's also what the USL Championship as a whole is trying to do. Is that
win.
We're here to win. We're not feeding anyone. We're not just here because of MLS soccer. So they're trying to carve out their own niche where minor league baseball has a different feel and will always have a different feel.
And I think people understand
the best family entertainment in town.
Yeah, I think people, for the most part, understand that, right? And so people just go out and watch Orbit run around and watch the taco races and eat.
Can't get your kids out to the playground. It happens.
Have you got your kid out to the playground yet? Yeah. He's done that.
He loved it. We were at the baseball game. I got him to watch about a half an inning because I was feeding him cotton candy, and then he's like, "Can I go play on that playground?" I was like, "Sure."
So
Absolutely.
it's like an evolution. Okay, Addie's first game was when she was 8 days old, maybe 9 days old. She's grown up with those same seats I've had at the ballpark forever, right? And there was an evolution, and it literally would go to, okay, go and feed. When do we get Dippin' Dots, or when do I get ice cream? And I kept her away from that playground until I want to say she was 6, and it was the end of the year. And Audra took her out there. And I'm like, it's yours now, man. Like I've kept her away. And it was actually kind of cool. Audra and her kind of bonded over that stuff early, in those days. And they went out, and so she went through that process and did the right field stuff. And now she's over that. And then it got to the day where you're going to love this one. So it was a Tuesday night. I want to say she had to be about 12. And I said, "What do you want to do for dinner tonight?" She's like, "Dad, are the Isotopes home?" I'm like, "What? Yeah, can we go out to the ball game for a few innings?" And we went out and sat in our seats, and we started doing that year and just had cool conversations. And I taught her baseball, and she asked about it. Like I had her watch the third base coach and signs. What does that mean? And the pitcher came up. This is before Universal DH. So you want to bet he bunts? What's a bunt, Dad? And taught her. That's when you're going to.
There's going to be an evolution. I wasn't expecting my 4-year-old to sit down and
right
with his box score and be like, "All right, full count pitch. Oh, that's a fielder's choice."
Yeah. Okay. Is it FC 6-3, Dad?
Is that? If it bounces off the pitcher, is it the 1-6-3 put out? Like, yep.
But that evolution is so cool. It is so freaking cool to go through that. All right. What do I get tonight? I get Lakers tonight, and I get Miami, Milwaukee. Woo. So Giannis tonight? I mean, this is all of a sudden. We're talking about the 1 seed in the East in some trouble.
They're like, there'll be no problem playing Miami. No, it's a problem.
No, we got a problem.
You're down 2-1.
Yeah, and we're in Miami tonight.
Let's put some ice on that, Giannis.
We're in Miami tonight with the Heat potentially going up 3-1 on the 1 seed. Like, y'all got a problem.
And it really did feel like Milwaukee was like, all right, we'll handle this series. We'll be able to let Giannis do his thing. Not at all.
I don't know. And I haven't seen any report that tells me Giannis is playing tonight. Have you?
I'm just that he was doing some individual work.
Injuries are real in this. I mean, between Giannis, Embiid, Kawhi Leonard, I know.
What is the point of injury management? Load management.
I know.
If you're not available when it matters the most.
No, go ahead. I got no defense.
What's the point of this? Now,
like
Kawhi was 2 games. You're like, wow.
And did you watch him, Bo? Did you watch him?
Awesome.
In those 2 games?
And then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, he has a sprained knee.
Yeah.
What?
I watched dude, and I'm like, that's the dude. Okay, I kind of get it. That's the guy who won 2 championships. That's the guy who got paid, who got to pick his deal, who got all those concessions from the Clippers.
You're like, yeah, I'm sitting that guy the entire season if he's going to look like that.
Right? And then he's out again? Is he playing tonight?
No.
Well, they don't play tonight. Yeah. No, they're done. Like, and they're playing Kevin Durant and Booker and Phoenix, and it's. Yeah, I know. All right, good stuff today. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for the time that you give us every day. Very, very, very much appreciate you. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will follow that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4 o'clock, and then we'll return tomorrow morning with award-winning radio. We will begin at 7 a.m. Hey, Marie, great work.
Thank you.
Always. You're really good. Adrian, great job on the visual side. You got a big day today?
Huge day.
Enjoy it, please. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New